mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on the way.
It's Wednesday night. Time for a hump day fight. 40 of iRacing's best in a carbon fiber slugfest. Esport aces, mechanical maniacs, over-the-wall weekend warriors, hometown track heroes, and even boys from the big leagues. Oh, we've got characters, all right. Strapped in the sim rig, poised to strike. We're set to battle it out each and every lap. So grab your popcorn. This is Thunderclap.
Ain't nowhere to hide. You ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind. Cause I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on the way.
Contact 4 wide for the lead.
He blocks, checker flag, change scene right, 5.025 seconds.
It is going to be Ryan Truex.
I'm far ahead and gotta run last. But we ain't letting up, we never done that. Ain't nowhere to hide. You ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind. Cause I be on the way. Yeah.
They are wrecking just like that. Oh, a humongous impact.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on the way. Yeah. I'm on the way. On the way. I'm on the way.
Hello and welcome everyone to Grid Vision's presentation of the Thunderclap iRacing series here, of course presented by TLC Incorporated. Definitely excited to be here at Kansas Motor Speedway. Definitely a interesting track, a lot of grooves at this place. Of course, tire wear is going to be significant at this mile on the track. Of course, this is called the Let's Give the Great Plains a Little TLC 150. Love that name. Of course, my name is Brian Britt. I do believe we have Mr. Marty Kazal.
You messed it up every time, Brian.
I can't do it. My southern brain cannot do it, Marty.
I don't blame you.
Of course, also Darmstar's down behind the cameras. How you doing tonight, Marty?
I'm doing good. Good to be back with you guys here and Thunderclap. Great racetrack here at the Kansas Speedway. This is a track that I guess you could say is a little bit similar to Las Vegas, but with a little bit less spanking. You should be in for a treat with this one tonight. You know, you just barely let off the throttle entering the corners to get back on. I think you'll see a bunch of double file racing here tonight.
Yeah, I think so for sure as well. It's going to be kind of hard to pass, though. Kansas has always kind of been that way. But, of course, the track temp out there is, I do believe, 107 on the actual track itself. 85, I do believe, is the ambient temperature. So, fairly warm out here in Kansas. And a lot of these guys are definitely going to have to put the big boy pants on when it comes to, I think, making passes. I think the top line has always traditionally kind of been the strong, kind of line at this racetrack. But of course, I think that from what I've seen here recently, it seems like you can run down there on the bottom, but as the race goes on, it kind of progresses to where you move up.
Yeah, I feel like that this is a bottom side track, the place you want to be. But that second groove can work. It has worked in the past, especially on a long run. You know, if you can make the highest groove next to the safer barrier work, you could possibly go full throttle, but you have to run right next to the safer barrier, and you are on the boundary of perfect and overkill.
Yeah, and of course, this being a mile-and-a-half draft is going to be a big factor as well. Of course, everybody is in the midst of warm-up. Well, we have about 3 minutes left at the moment. Of course, fastest truck at the moment on the racetrack is, I do believe, John Freeman in the 5 machine. He's always been one that is known to be quick when it comes to long runs and being able to stay alive. But we'll go ahead and take a quick rundown through the points at the moment. And that being the overall points, of course, features Sean Boundy at the top of the board. I do believe he has 568 total points at the moment. 30 points back from him, though, is Ryan Truex in that second spot. Of course, third, Josh Ball. He's been a threat all season long. Roger Diebold has gotten, I do believe, 2 podiums in a row, if I'm not mistaken. So he sits in 4th. 5th place, John Freeman, who we were just talking about, who set quick time in practice, is in 5th. 6th place, Matt Garrett. Matt Cherry, who just won a race a few weeks ago, sits, I do believe, in the 7th place position. Mark McCrary in 8th place. 9th, Scott Formosa. 10th, Jordan Durasic. And, of course, we'll switch over and look at the truck point. And, of course, in the truck points, we haven't seen a whole lot of movement in the truck points here. But recently we kind of started to have, just considering we did have a truck race as well last week. So it's kind of been lately a lot of movement going on, except, but we haven't had a whole lot of truck racing. I'd say we've had more next gens and Xfinity races than we have in the trucks. But so these guys are starting to get a little bit more, I'd say, acclimated to these NASCAR trucks. Josh Ball is at the top of the board here in this series, so it seems like he's the strong truck driver, but of course has not won a race. What's really interesting about Josh Ball, he has just been really, really consistent. He's gotten 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s. Of course, he has 200 total points, and in 2nd place now, up a position, is Roger Diebold. So I'd expect Roger Diebold maybe even to serve to lead into this race if he's able to really do well. Of course, he's separated by about 22 points. Of course, Ryan Truex also moved up a position in the truck points, up to 3rd. So 4th place down 2 spots. The person that lost those 2 spots is Sean Boundy. So that is unfortunate. Of course, he still does lead the overall points at the moment. Of course, Scott Formosa up 5 positions in the truck points. So definitely a good job to him. 6th place, Justin Clapper up 2 points. It's actually tied for 6th place is Mark McCrary. He was actually up 3 spots. Down 3 spots, though, was Greg McConey. Matt Garrett is up 2 spots, up to 9th. 10th place, Chase Leahy, actually down 4 spots. So a lot of movement from last week's race. So interesting to see that. And it looks like we have about just a couple more seconds until we'll be switching over to the actual race portion of this thing. So a lot of these guys trying to get acclimated to the track, and don't think it'll change too much when we get there. But these guys definitely ready and willing to get gridded up, as we have 150 laps on the docket here tonight. It looks like everybody is going to be making their way to the grid here. So we'll go ahead and do a quick rundown through the starting grid. Of course, Jordan Durasic is going to be starting from the pole. Mark McCrary up in 2nd place. 3rd place, James Seawright. 4th place, Matt Cherry. 5th place, Matt Garrett. 6th, Noah Rainwater. 7th, Sean Boundy. 8th, Scott Formosa. 9th, Josh Ball. And rounding out the top 10 is Roger Diebold.
Row 6 on the inside, Justin Clapper in the 63, and on the outside, it's John Freeman in the 5. In row 7, it's Matthew Montgomery in the number 9, Bo Condon in truck 25. In row number 8, it's Greg McConey in the number 12, and Adam Schramm in the 2. Row number 9, Ryan Zunk in the 23, Thomas Aaron in the 93. Rounding out the top 20 in row 10, Anthony Burleson on the inside in the 79. On his outside, Brandon Schumann in the 52.
Of course, 21st is Dennis, 22nd Woodward, 23rd Grim, 24th Sharik, 25th Lee, 26th Neeson, 27th Jardon, 28th Vial, and of course rounding out this 29-car field is Tyler Truex. And it looks like we are starting to get rolling here, as it looks like Jordan Durasic is going to be starting from the pole. I know he's been having, I'd say, quite a tumultuous couple races the last few ones. I mean, he's been fast, but unfortunately he's been kind of caught up in some accidents. So we'll have to see how he is able to handle himself here. And it looks like we have a delayed green, so I think a lot of penalties might be going out here. So we'll have to wait and see how that kind of plays out. Who's going to get EOLs? I know these guys are really big when it comes to race control. The guys are always watching like hawks, Marty.
Yes, absolutely. One of the stricter series you see here, a lot of race control. You got cameras all around the racetrack, so it should be fun to watch. One thing you point out here as well with Jurassic, you know, it's not been the good string of the past few weeks. It's been with that Rowdy Energy number 6. A couple of wrecks for him. But I feel like this track here at Kansas could be, I know there's a lot of passing, But I feel like with the trucks, it could be a race of track position.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's going to be a lot about track position. These trucks don't have a whole lot of horsepower, and it's going to be a lot of on time, throttle on, on the throttle time, I should say. And so these guys are definitely going to have to really, I think, save tire in order to be, I'd say, a step above the rest of the guys. Because I think draft is going to keep these guys together for quite a while, just considering this is a fixed setup race as well. But it looks like we are going to be going green this time by. Pace car lights have gone out. Of course, definitely interesting to see how this all works out. Jurassic was able to set the quick time in qualifying. Mark McCrary was another one. He's been having some bad luck. He's always finds himself up in the top 5, but not necessarily finishing there.
Yeah, he has had a fast car in fast truck in these past few weeks. Really wants to try and get that truck to finish inside the top 10 or even the top 5. If you're in it, though, as I like to say, near the front, you will have a chance to win it.
That's definitely right. And I actually just have to mention last week at Bristol, we talk about Jordan Jurassic's bad luck. Well, last week he did turn that bad luck around with a win. So we'll have to see if he could use that momentum here tonight as we get ready to enter the TLC restart zone. And the green flag is out for the first time here in Thunderclap Racing action. And a pretty tame restart, I'd say. Of course, the bottom line looks like they got the advantage right now. We'll have to see how they do into turn 1. Looks like Jurassic is clear for the lead at the moment. I don't know how long that's going to last, considering the top line should get a run here out of 2. But it looks like Jurassic jumps up to block that top line. Here comes the 18 of James Seawright on the bottom here, Marty.
And this gives the advantage to the 18 being in that preferred corner. Jurassic tried to get the draft on corner exit and shut the door up top, and he pays the price for right now. But he had a nice corner exit at the stripe. Seawright leads lap 1.
That's not a surprise. We saw James Seawright lead a lot of laps last week at Bristol. He's got a lot of speed. Sometimes his aggression, I think, is his undoing in a lot of ways. He does have a tendency to be really, really aggressive. Jurassic, though, gets the run on the high side. I was thinking that this top side is going to be where you're going to want to be, I think, as the run progresses. Almost, I think, 3 wide here is Seawright in the middle. We see Matt Cherry on the bottom trying to make something happen. Looks like he thinks better of it, but goes 3 wide now. And now he's going to be possibly in the middle with Matt Garrett challenging on the bottom there for that 5th place spot.
Yeah, smart move from Garrett to not take the risk of it. It would have been a very shallow entry into turn 1. You don't want to have shallow entries in the corners here at Kansas, or else you will have a horrible corner and could cause a wreck. Garrett stays up in that 4th spot. Garrett in that 5th spot now at the moment. Downey stuck up top in that 6th position.
And I think you were right. Track position is going to be very important, especially as these tires start to wear. It's going to be harder and harder to make these passes stick. Of course, Matt Garrett being challenged by Bounty. Now, I talked about Bounty. I think he's in a sense of a desperation when it comes to the truck points right now. He lost 2 spots, so he's down, I do believe, to, if I'm not mistaken, 4th in the points. Was the points leader for the truck series. Of course, it is the point series leader for the overall. But definitely, I think he's got a little bit of a desperation underneath him right now.
Yeah, Bounty lost 2 spots after last week's running. Looks to rebound tonight as you see McCrary. Nice corner, but he touched the apron up the racetrack. That allows Seawright to hang on to 2nd for right now. And Matt Cherry picks up a spot into 3rd. But you got to give, and now McCrary starts to drop back rather. That corner paid badly for him, down to the 6th position.
Yeah, and I feel like McCrary is kind of in no man's land right there, all by himself. I mean, draft is so big here, and if you don't have a lot of guys kind of in that lane, in that line, I should say, then you're going to start to fall back. And I think, like you said, he took the corners a little too narrow and lost some momentum. This is definitely a momentum racetrack. I do want to mention some of the facts about the race here tonight as well. Of course, we're going to have stages on lap 15 and lap 35. And, of course, the fuel window tonight is 60 laps. 4 sets of tires are present here in this 150-lap race. And I definitely think that is going to be enough. I'm sure these guys are probably going to use every one of them.
Something else you're seeing as well at the front of the field, and this is a reason why you see some of these cookie-cutter tracks unique, is that you are allowed to shortcut the dog leg, use the apron to your advantage. You don't want to touch the grass, but you want to use as much track as possible when you go underneath that white line.
Yeah, and we're seeing already some fall off from these drivers as well. I mean, we see our leader, Jordan Jurassic, 31.827 last time by versus his best lap of 31.461. So we're already seeing that, 4/10 of fall off, almost a half a second. I mean, that's quite I'm surprised at how substantial it is, only 8 laps in. Looks like we got a little bit slower car there on the bottom. I think that was the 25 of Robert Condon.
We're also seeing as well a 4-truck breakaway from Jurassic to Bounty at the moment. Noah Rainwater is trying to hold off Matt Garrett in the 3. They were side by side for a little bit, which allowed the top 4 to pull away briefly. And that's the thing, the top 4 the second through fourth, I should say, are just running patient at the moment. They don't want to take any risks, making a move to the inside, challenging side by side. They're just being patient, trying to force their partner ahead into making a mistake.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I don't think they're really trying to race each other very much, and I think that's going to be a very important distinction. Of course, we also have kind of another separate group that is kind of being pulled away from is, I do believe, led by Ryan Zunk, or the 93 of Aaron, actually, back here in 14th and 15th. So kind of another distinct group here. So surprised at how quickly things are spreading out, and I think it's got a lot to do with how these guys are racing each other. That they are racing each other at all, I think is hurting them.
Yeah, it could be hurting them for sure. As you see drivers working on the outside line, just running the Larson line, I guess you could say, next to the safer barrier. I think this is something as well we kind of expected too in the corners on the long run. I think you talked about it specifically, Brian, in pre-race, and that high side would be the place to go late in going.
Yeah, I think it definitely is. As we see Noah Rainwater looking back here at that 5th place spot, he is desperately trying to keep this position from Matt Garrett. He keeps trying to pinch him down so he doesn't get the runs, but I think that it's only a matter of time here. Matt Garrett, can he get clear? I think he will. He's got a really good run in 3 and 4 here, and he slides up right in front of Noah Rainwater. Here comes the crossover. Now, this is that track. I'll tell you, slide jobs are very, very possible at this place. And of course, it's almost like a continuing, never-ending cycle of battling here, just considering as soon as you get the pass completed, the guy's right back to your inside.
And that's what makes tracks like Kansas and Chicagoland fun. All those 5 jobs, and that's McCrary in the wall. Man, this day is just starting to get worse and worse for him. Started in 2nd spot, now down in 13th. As you take a look on board, I don't see a lot of damage on that 88, so I think it was just instant damage to his points. So I think he's good for right now.
Yeah, I don't think it hurt him too bad, and that's the good thing about this new damage model. We've seen it here recently, and it doesn't seem like it hurts the truck very much when you touch the wall. Aero used to be a huge deal. I think it still somewhat is, but it looks like we do have some battling throughout the pack. I do believe that's Montgomery trying to get up to Roger Diebold here. That is, I do believe, 11th position. And look at that, McCrary still dropping through the field here. He's now back to 15th. I think he keeps getting into the wall. So maybe
he may have used his tires up early, Brian.
Could very well be the case. It looks like he is probably begging for that stage caution, which will come, I do believe, after next lap. So of course, I do believe when we complete lap 16, we will get a caution. Which will, of course, will give these guys a chance to take the data and things like that. Can't make any adjustments to the truck, really, but they can make adjustments to the driving style and kind of learn from what they did. But we talked about how important track position is. Well, now McCrary's way, way, way back in on the edge of the top, outside of the top 20 here.
And they can get dicey on restarts from mid-pack on back. This is not where you want to be if you're McCrary. You got Anthony Burleson underneath for the 19th position. He wished that caution came out on lap 10, Brian. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'd say so. But here we go. Jordan Durasic's going to be crossing the start-finish line, and he will be your Stage 1 winner. Of course, there is the caution flag flying right now. So Jordan Durasic, 1st place. James Seawright, 2nd. Matt Cherry, 3rd. Sean Boundy, 4th. Matt Garrett, 5th. Noah Rainwater, 6th. John Freeman, 7th. Justin Clamper, 8th. Scott Formosa, 9th. Josh Ball, is your top 10 stage finishers. They will be the stage recipients of stage points. So definitely interesting to see these guys. They're going to be coming down pit road very, very soon, I do believe, to probably get a set of tires and see what the data is going to tell them. And I do believe we're going to replay the intro right quick. We'll be right back with some more racing action for the start of stage number 2. Welcome back, everybody, to Grid Vision's presentation of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC. Of course, this caution period is presented by Eagleswood Creation. Of course, Eagleswood Creations is your one-stop shop for your laser engraving needs, from wood to acrylic, custom signs, earrings, keychains, coasters, and much, much more. Located in West Creek, New Jersey, but shipping nationwide, items can be purchased and custom-made via Etsy or through their website, eagleswoodcreations.com. That is eagleswoodcreations.com. Follow them today on Etsy, Facebook, and at Eagleswood Creations on Instagram, as it looks like Jordan Jurassic has won the race off pit road. But James Seawright, what did he do, Marty?
Yeah, James Seawright actually stayed out from the looks of it. Either that or missed his pit box, because I have a 59-second pit lane time. So I would take the guess here that he completely missed pit road, or if not, stayed out. He actually stayed out, correction. The 59 seconds I was looking at came on the pace lap.
Well, that's definitely very interesting indeed. Yeah, it looks like I don't have him coming down pit road. He's 18 laps on his stint, and we saw over a half a second of fall off over that 15-lap period. So this could be very dangerous. I think we're going to see possibly some wheel spin. Even that being said, if he weathers the storm and does not go a lap down before the end of stage 2, this could be kind of big, though, considering later in this race, if we have more cautions and some guys run out of tires, he'll have a set, and that could be a race-winning decision. I mean, it's a gamble. It's a huge gamble, but I respect it.
It could possibly be, and yes, I absolutely do respect it, too. Save an extra set for late in the going if we do get that late race caution. It's a long-term strategy. Well, he's just rolling the dice here. Ironically, that we have a casino off turn 2. He's just rolling dice here and see if he can hit the payout window.
Yeah, it might work out. My concern, though, is I know yesterday in Champion Power Equipment Truck Series competition in the trucks, and they, of course, use a fixed setup as well. We're not at this track, but they did have wheel spin, and that's something I think we might even see here. So really got to keep an eye on this 18 as the pace car is going to dip down pit road as we prepare to enter the TLC restart zone.
Oh, we got trouble behind them. Coming to the green, Burleson, Neeson, and Zunk. An accident behind the field as we come back to the green.
Oh, no. Of course, the pace car is going to be coming back out. I do believe the green has been delayed here. But it looks like, yeah, someone just had some issues, so we'll see if we can't find that. You said it was Anthony Burleson.
Somebody locked the brakes up ahead of them as they were trying to catch up, and it just led to a huge, colossal stack-up. It involved Burleson, Schumann. Oh, my goodness. That is an iRacing not top 10 moment.
Yeah, for sure. The green flag didn't even fly there, and I don't believe we actually have the footage from that accident. But definitely when you're trying to, desperately trying to catch up to the field when the green flag's about to fly, I think things like that can very easily happen, and unfortunately, that was the case there. That is
Yes.
just a bad day there for that.
Yeah, so taking a brief look at this, the 80 of Formosa, I think the 05 in front of him of Rainwater had to check up, and nobody behind expected it. And so then it was the 9 of Montgomery in the back of the 81 of Dennis, who then got in the back of the 83. And man, that's something you don't want to see.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, that just sounds like a whole can of worms. What's going on here?
They're bringing drivers into pit road, I think. Are we going green this time? We are not
I'm not
going
sure
green
we see
this time.
Seawright. James
Drivers-
Seawright, who stayed out, he is now going to the rear. And he has been given an EOL penalty here.
I wonder if it had to do with down the restart. Did he go slower than the normal pace speed? I'll have to take a look here what the caution car speed is. And it is 65 miles an hour here. I will see if he went slower than 65.
This is going to be really a big deal, I'd say, for
And they
Matt
gave
Cherry.
Jurassic an EOL penalty too.
Whoa. So
I don't
something is
know.
definitely going on here. Race Control knows more than, of course, we do. This is going to be huge. Of course, our pole sitter, Jordan Jurassic, won stage 1, is now falling to the rear of the field. This is going to let the top 2 be Matt Cherry and Sean Boundy. Wow, this is a huge development.
So the pace car speed here is 65 miles an hour. The front row together went 55 miles an hour. And I believe that is against the rules. I believe you have to hold on to caution car speed as we're set to come back to green.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge no-no. 10-mile-an-hour difference. Green flag is back out as we exit the TLC green restart zone. Of course, Matt Cherry winning the lottery there with those top two getting those EOL penalties. He has now scored as your leader and has gotten that position secured. Matt Cherry makes a bonsai move and is able to get the position on Boundy here. And here he comes. He's going to be maybe trying to go for the lead.
Garrett, though, doesn't have the draft. 35 with a slight advantage of Bounty into turn number 3. But Garrett sent it into turn number 3, a little deeper than you would think. Now, he took fuel only, if not a 2-tire pit stop. But only 2 drivers took, I would want to say, 4 tires of the ones that didn't suffer any damage one bit. But it's Cherry that led the lap of the line, I believe. Can he clear the 67? Can he clear Garrett off of turn 2?
That's actually a really interesting fact. I did not notice that. I was so focused on James Seawright not pitting that I did not look at the box times for everybody else. Yeah, everybody only took fuel. I think McCrary might have took 2 tires. I think Ryan Zunk and Robert Condon both did take tires there. But it looks like Matt Cherry is in control of the field right now, and he's starting to pull away about 0.2 of a second now as the rest of the field tries to scramble. I'd be interested to see those guys that are on new tires. How much did they move through this field?
Yeah, Ryan Zunk is in 16th, Bo Condon's in 17th. As you got a race for 3rd. John Freeman, who started from the 12th position, he looks for 3rd on Bounty. And right now, Freeman, currently one of the bigger movers of this race. He's actually he's gained the 2nd most positions if he gets 3rd at the line.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind that John Freeman, of course, turned the fastest lap in practice, and it was by quite a little bit of a margin, I do believe. So I would not be surprised to see Freeman with some race-winning pace here. He always has good long-run pace, as I do believe he is going to get clear from Boundy here. Jumps right up in front of him. Boundy's going to get right to the back bumper. And, there goes the bump for Josh Ball. Caution flag is out. Ball spins in front of the field. And, of course, he spins down onto the apron, so I don't think there was a lot of damage paid out in this accident, but caution flag is back out.
Yeah, as you take a look here, he got hooked from the 63 of Clapper, and it sent him sideways. That's a 4-car battle for 4-truck battle, excuse me, for 5th. And then you just see the slight hook. Luckily, good to see here. Ball hold it in the straight direction going into turn number 3, not turning it, because that could have been more disastrous than anyone else would have thought.
Yeah, for sure. I'm surprised he didn't smash the outside wall. I mean, that looks like where he was going. But luckily that was not the case here as we look on board with Justin Clapper. And you can see right there, just a little nudge is all it took. And but luckily, like you said, Josh Ball avoiding that outside wall, that could have led to a lot more, I think, pandemonium as the Eagleswood Creations caution is back out once again here. That is going to leave us with less than 10 laps to go until we get to the end of stage 2. Of course, this stage will end 35 going to 36. So definitely has been somewhat a very chaotic stage 1 and 2.
Now, looking at some of the drivers that pitted, like Condon and Zunk, they were about 4/10 better than the leaders once the tires started to come in. Obviously, they're staying out here to see if they can get a chance at stage points. They're 13th and 14th now, with select drivers coming in to get, I would assume, get some fuel and or tires before the end of the stage.
Now, of course, I do want to give a shout out to our title sponsor here tonight with the Thunderclap iRacing Series, of course, TLC Incorporated. They are a premier service provider for lawn sprinklers, landscape lighting, drainage services, and garage makeovers. With nearly 40 years of experience, in just one day, your home could become a showcase with a new water-saving lawn sprinkler system, an energy-efficient landscape lighting system, or a brand new garage makeover and floor that'll last you a lifetime. Imagine all the possibilities if you gave your yard a little TLC. Operating in Maryland, D.C. and Virginia area, call 888-PIC-TLC for more information. Definitely appreciate those guys being the title sponsor and being so supportive of the Thunderclap iRacing Series. I know definitely love to watch those commercials. Bob Carr sending it back to us. But here we go, getting set for another run here. Pace car lights are still on, so everybody has a little bit of some time to think about how this next restart is going to go. Of course, I'm curious. I mean, these guys have been on their tires for about 10 laps, but really not really actually been on their tires for that long, or actually a little bit longer than that, considering some guys did not pit, did pit, but they only took fuel only. I'm thinking it was actually worth it to do this with these cautions, and it didn't seem like, even though you were talking about those guys were 4/10 better. Ryan Zunk and Condon, I don't think it was much worth it. It seems like it's just too hard to pass.
I don't think it is either. With 15 laps of better tires, and yes, with the high downforce and the lower horsepower, I do believe, too, that it's very tough to pass. Now, if we had a long run in a late race situation, it would be the perfect time to get tires. However, though, I don't think really was the time early to use a set.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely a lot of these guys are going to have that set still in the bank, and those guys are going to be down one set. Of course, these guys start this race with 4 sets of tires, so that would mean I do believe Condon and Zunk are both going to have 3 sets left now as we wait for, I do believe, the pace car lights to turn off here. And definitely a lot of interesting developments. I think the hugest development so far here tonight has been the EOL penalties that were given to James Seawright and Jurassic. Both of those drivers started up in the top 5, had to go to the rear of the field, and now are going to have to do the tough thing of driving their way back forward. I mean, we talk about how hard it is to pass and track position, how important that is. Well, that is big. I mean, and Jurassic wanted to keep that momentum going, I'd say, from last week's race at Bristol. So I'm curious, how do you handle this, Marty? What do you do to get closer to the front? I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess it's really all about the long run, I guess you say now, in intermediates. And when it comes to that long run, it's all about making sure that you're controlling your pedals well. You're not light on, light off. You're not switching on, off. And you want to make sure at the same time, when you're in a long run, make sure you're adjusting your brake bias.
So that's interesting. A lot of times I would never expect that, especially at a track like this, that brakes would be something that you would mess around with. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, maybe as the tires wear, you would start to maybe drag a little bit of that brake, and it might help for sure here as the pace car does dip down pit road. We prepare to enter the TLC restart zone, and there it is. Green flag is back out in the air here as we get ready to conclude stage number 2. Of course, Matt Cherry with a heck of a restart. Side-by-side 4nd place is Freeman and Matt Garrett. Looks like Freeman gets a really good launch. Of course, Sean Bounty going to try to see if he can't take advantage of that launch and try to follow him past Matt Garrett.
May be able to clear it down the back with a push from the 05 of Noah Rainwater. It's just about the advantage to Bounty entering turn 3, and he's got the preferred line.
Yeah, Freeman moves up to the top side to try to get into the draft of Matt Cherry here. And it looks like it's going to work. He goes down to that apron. And you talked about that. That is kind of a unique feature about Kansas. We see it at some mile and a half where you can use that dog leg is kind of what they call it. I wonder how worth it is to use that, though. I mean, I feel like it might burn the tires up a little bit more, but you might be in a different camp.
I think, though, if you're in like a race for the lead, especially when you're late into going, trying to get a position, you're going to use that dog leg as much as possible. Meanwhile, all the way behind him, look at this insane racing. We got 3 wide, nearly 4 wide racing. It's like an Oklahoma land rush across the line, Brian.
It definitely is. I mean, I'm seeing Robert Condon. We talked about him being on the new tires. He's making moves right now. He's up to 9th, battling right now with Roger Debold. You can see he's got a lot of speed, has a lot of maneuverability too. I think that's the big part about having those new tires is the maneuverability that he has. He's able to run right down at the bottom while the rest of these guys can't seem to stay down there, and he's getting huge runs. He just got clear of Roger Debold, and Debold's no slouch. You don't get by him on accident.
May have a chance to get past Thomas Aaron for the 8th spot this next time by, and he's up on that spoiler, challenging door-to-door in turn 2. Formosa in front of him gets a big exit. He wants Clapper for 6th.
It looks like we almost had an accident a little bit further back. I couldn't tell who that was, but I saw one driver getting incredibly loose, and we still have quite a big deal of a lot of stuff kind of going on back here.
Even with all this, Brian,
that is C-right, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Even with all this happening, Ryan, we've got a good race for the lead. Cherry and Freeman, they were side by side just about a lap ago. Now it's 1.5 truck lengths separating the top 2.
And of course, we're coming up to the white flag for stage number 2, so no wonder Freeman's starting to try to challenge here. But I think Matt Cherry has the defending line. If he just holds that top, I don't think Freeman's really going to be able to do anything. I think the only way that he would be able to if they had a huge discrepancy in the tires. Last time by Cherry was about a 0.5 tenth faster. We do see Jordan Durasic. We talked about him getting that huge GOL. He's back up to 12th right now, and I think trying to battle with J.D. Woodward at the moment.
Yep, he's having a good run. C-Right hasn't recovered since then. He's down in the 27th position. But here we go. Freeman underneath for the stage win.
And almost a wreck there as we're on the last lap. We saw 3 wide there, Debold, Woodward, and Durasic. As, of course, here comes Freeman. Freeman's going to make the pass. But here comes Matt Cherry. He still has a chance here, but it looks like Freeman. Oh, that was close.
My
wow.
I think that was Cherry just barely. Or rather, Freeman.
I think it was Freeman. Yeah, I think Freeman just barely edged out Matt Cherry. But what an effort from Matt Cherry to, well, the caution flag did, I don't know, even though they crossed the line and it was Cherry, or Freeman, I think that once the caution flag came out, it actually was Cherry. So let's take a look here, and what we kind of can see at the point of caution here, we see the huge run that Cherry gets, and right here I think is when the caution flag flies, and Cherry does actually manage to sneak in that stage 2 victory. Wow, what a finish.
So that was wild.
Yeah, of course, we'll do a quick rundown of the top 10 points positions. Cherry, of course, first, Freeman second, Garrett third, Boundy fourth, Rainwater fifth, Condon sixth, seventh, Clapper, Formosa 8th, Aaron 9th, and TJ Lee 10th. Those are the top 10 points paying positions. We're going to take a quick step away, pay some attention to our sponsors. We'll be right back with stage number 3 and the longest stage.
SRI Performance, With over 400 product lines representing the top manufacturers in motorsports, we are your one-stop shop for everything racing. 3 of our brick-and-mortar stores are located in North Carolina, and our newest facility in Brownsburg, Indiana. And 4 trackside mobile stores, you can find us spread out throughout the nation. With industry-leading knowledge, we are only a phone call away to visit our customer service experts. And don't forget, we have the world's largest inventory of used race parts, SRI Performance, and stock car steel and aluminum for everything racing.
Hey, Bob Carr here at TLC. Take a look at some of the specials we're running at TLC right now. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Storms are in the forecast, so if you have a problem with water standing in your yard, in your basement, now's the time to give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342. We'll be glad to provide you with a free, no-obligation drainage proposal for your property. Give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342 or hit the link below. We'll respond back to your email, set you up for a free, no-obligation quote for your drainage needs. Let's solve that once and for all. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Now's the perfect time to have your landscape lighting system tuned up for the upcoming summer months. Give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342. and let's get you some light out there. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's take it down to the booth and get updated on what's going on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Grid Vision's presentation of the iRacing, or the Thunderclap iRacing series presented by TLC. We do have some developments here. TJ Lee, James Seawright, Josh Ball all stayed out. Dennis and Condon are on old tires, took fuel only. So top 5 on old tires. This is going to be interesting to see how this works. Pace car is dipping down pit road as we get stage 3 started here. We're going to have 110 laps. I think 111 actually is the TLC restart zone. The green flag is back out. TJ Lee with a pretty good launch there. We'll see how he maintains, because these guys got a hornet's nest, a bunch of hungry drivers right behind him that are on new tires, Marty.
Now, TJ Lee, James Seawright, Josh Ball, they each pitted on lap 26, 27, and 28 respectively. That was after the stack-up took place. As you see, Ball look for P2 on James Seawright. See Matt Cherry in 4th. He pitted on lap 37, a 14-second pit stop, 4 tires. The 81 of Dennis decided to take fuel only. A risky move to get some track position, but he's in that 5th spot.
You could already see how much this is not paying off for guys like Robert Condon. He is falling back quickly. Started up in the top 5, now back already to 10th. As we saw a lot of 3 wide. We saw Freeman in the middle there. He's now side by side with Boundy for that 7th place position. So definitely, I don't think it's paying off very much. Seawright is up in the lead right now. We'll have to see how long that lasts. Of course, Matt Cherry is now up to 4th. Of course, he was the stage 2 victor.
Yeah, Cherry now, he's got 2 drivers side by side ahead that stayed out in Ball and Lee. How does this slow up potentially? This just helps the 18 pull away.
It really is just helping him. It's nice that he had a buffer here. I think Seawright, if he could stay like this for a little bit and maybe a caution comes out in 5 laps, I think he's going to be looking sitting pretty. At least see Ball keeps going down to block Cherry. Now, I think Cherry's probably not going to be too happy about this.
No, not one bit. He knows that Ball is slower than the 67. Will not be pleased. And there you see just another slow block once again, but Cherry has the advantage.
Yeah, this time Cherry, I think, knew exactly what Ball was going to do, so he just jumped up to the top. He was like, I'm not going to let you do this again. And it looks like Ball does file in right behind Cherry. It's an interesting decision there for sure. What about TJ Lee? Looking good out there right now. Of course, did take only tire, or didn't take tires, so he is kind of has a proverbial hornet's nest all around him. As we see Matt Garrett actually going to be trying to get by him, and I think he's going to be successful in that. Moves up into that 4th place position. And Ball's going to be holding up some more guys here.
Well, Lee finished 10th at the end of stage 1, and he did pit on lap 26, so he was one to stay out. And so hopefully the track position plays in his favor, as we got to change for the lead. Cherry underneath.
Yeah, Matt Cherry, of course, with the fresher tires. This is good for him. All these other guys are getting held up. And this has allowed him to get up to Seawright. Possibly going to get by him. Seawright's actually putting up a little bit more of a fight than I was kind of suspected, but I think Cherry is going to make that pass. He gets a little tight on the exit at 2, but is able to slide up in front of James Seawright, and he is, of course, going to retake the lead. Here comes Seawright to the inside. I'm just shocked to see Seawright, on the older tires, just trying to look at this. He's crossing back over. Oh, this is gonna be
tight. He's showing though that 10 laps of worn tires can pay off just a bit. This is going to allow Matt Garrett to close in, the second driver on fresh tires too, in third.
You got to imagine that Matt Cherry is really, really frustrated right now. Like, come on, man. Yellow flag is out. Looks like we have a problem with the 81.
Nikolai Jordan.
Oh, okay, Jordan.
Or Jardin, excuse me.
He actually is taking a tow to the pit. Huge damage on that truck.
Wreck happened in turn number 1, and a couple of drivers were side by side. It was him as well as, I believe, the 83 of Sherry it was, and they just simply touched and hooked.
Oh!
Yeah.
No wonder all that damage is on that truck. Man, that was quite a violent crash. See pieces of the truck coming off. Love that new damage model that we see here. So take another look here at it. You see the 93 was kind of trying to go above Jardon there, and unfortunately the spot was kind of already taken and he came back up. So, I mean, that's just a kind of, I think Jardon thought that he still had room to go up, but did not.
Yeah, he unfortunately did not have room. Should have let Sherry have the position, and it just goes bad as we see some. I almost got faked out.
Yeah, I think they were definitely trying to do some fake outs. Do you see some guys actually taking a trip down pit road? I see JD Woodward coming down. Of course, I think some other drivers, TJ Lee as well. Roger Diebold as well coming down pit road. So interesting timing to bring it down pit road here. I'm wondering what they're thinking here. I think they expect maybe a big one on this car. I don't know what the thought process here would be to come down this soon.
A lot of the drivers I'm seeing here are just topping off on fuel.
Okay.
At the moment, I don't really see anyone taking tires except for TJ Lee. Anthony Burleson also decided to take tires. The other drivers in pit road are repairing some damage.
Yeah, I definitely like that decision to go ahead and take a little bit of fuel there. Just considering the fuel window is 60 laps, so that would mean that they can make it on one more stop from here. And I think that's kind of the what they're trying to, the thought process is there.
Yeah,
so
I think
we'll see how that works out.
This could help them out, like in a long run, if they have extra fuel, then they could pit for tires and have a couple laps to their advantage.
Yeah, to be able to stay out just a hair longer, and that could be, and then a caution comes out. If they're able to stay out longer, that really could pay dividends. So we'll have to see how that all kind of works out. Interesting to note. I'm wondering, I see Seawright's in the lead, but I think Cherry was in the lead at the time of the caution. I think that maybe Seawright was just getting a little antsy. Pace car lights are out, though, preparing to go back green once again. Of course, James Seawright on 21 lap old tires versus Matt Cherry on 11. Hasn't seemed like it slowed Seawright down as much as I kind of suspected it would. Of course, other drivers that did that same kind of strategy, they fell back hard through the field, but not Seawright. We'll have to see how he's able to hold on to this. But then again, he had that huge gap because he had, of course, Ball and company kind of holding up a lot of those drivers. I don't think that's going to be necessarily the case anymore because, you see Freeman and Garrett are right there now.
They are there for sure, and Freeman has shown his speed. Obviously, we saw at the end of stage 2 with him against Matt Cherry. If this front row continues to not play nice, watch out for that 5 Silverado.
Yeah, I definitely think Freeman. I mean, he has the fastest lap in practice, so it is interesting. I think, the control car is Seawright. He's chosen the top. I thought Cherry was in the lead at the time of the caution, but I guess I might have been mistaken as we exit the TLC restart zone. Green flag is back out. Seawright gets a really good launch there. but I think it's only a matter of time before Cherry's going to get back up to him. And I would expect that 67 is already kind of a little bit hot under the collar as you see Freeman trying to work that top side. He's got Sean Boundy kind of right there in tow as Garrett jumps up in front of Freeman here.
Yeah, Cherry able to get the toe off of Seawright. Oh, he tries to block him. I don't know how Cherry never turned Seawright around. There was a lot more patience than Cherry had, but he says, thank you very much. I'll take my Silverado to the point.
Yeah, that was a close deal right there. I mean, a lot of patience there from Matt Cherry on display. He could have easily just decided, I'm not going to lift to turn the guy, but luckily that was not the decision that he made, as it looks like Cherry does go to the point. Here comes Garrett. Thought about going down, but of course that spot was already taken by Freeman. Luckily, he thought better of that.
And Seawright still looking for any opportunity to get for the lead, but he may get sandwiched here. You got to truck you low, and that's Freeman.
He looked like he definitely was about to go down there and block Freeman, but I think he thought better of it. Now in the middle, 3 wide. Garrett's up on the top, and it looks like Seawright is going to slowly but surely start dropping out of the top 5, possibly here. You see also Josh Ball very much holding up a lot of these drivers, and it looks like Seawright's down. What the heck is going on here with Seawright? He's dropped down on the apron.
That is interesting. I don't know what's going on. Either he's coming into pit or he had a black flag that iRacing gave him. I do not know. Oh, wait, is he towing it? He's towing it. So something must be going on where he cannot make iRacing his highest priority right now.
Yeah, hopefully everything's okay there with him. That is an odd occurrence for sure. He was up there fighting in the top 5 and then all of a sudden just pulls off. So hopefully everything's all right with him for sure. As Matt Garrett or Cherry still in the lead. So it is domination of the mats right now as Matt Cherry and Matt Garrett 1-2 at the moment. Of course, Jordan Durasic, very impressed with what he's been managing to do. I mean, he had an EOL, went to the rear of the field, is now up into top 5, just got by Justin Clapper.
Could open up a chance.
A little bit of a bump there.
Yeah, it could have opened up a chance for Clapper to make a run to the inside. But unfortunately, it does not work.
Struggling.
Look at the racing, though, from 7th and 8th on back. Double wide amongst 3 rows. It's getting wild and hairy.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is because of Josh Ball. Of course, he's on the older tires as well, and he is struggling very much so. But he of course, is prioritizing trying to keep this track position, and unfortunately, it is not working out for him. It's not working out for the drivers around him as well. Here comes Roger Deagle trying to get by Noah Rainwater. Also, first time in the top 10 so far tonight is Tyler Truex. So definitely a good job to him. I do believe he started, I think, last in this race, so he's definitely had quite the recovery.
29th starting position for Truex. He is up 19. One short of the biggest mover. Current biggest mover of the race is Greg. Correct me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Is it Vial or Veal? But he's up to 8.
Vial, I do believe it is.
Vial, okay, thank you. So yeah.
Don't worry, I've made that mistake.
Hey, or maybe Vale on our pronunciation sheet. Hey, at least it's not Cicala.
But definitely a lot of great racing right now as we see, of course, Freeman starting to make some really big inroads in here to Matt Garrett. I do not count Freeman out. I think that he's one that is has a good shot at winning one of these races. I don't think I've seen him in victory lane. I know he's gotten a bunch of podiums, always seems to be in contention. So we'll have to see what he's going to be able to do here tonight. Very, very much a lot of speed in that race truck. Last time by, he was faster than the leader. Was not faster than Matt Garrett, though. Of course, keep an eye on Sean Boundy. He's going to be desperate, as I mentioned a little bit ago, to get that points lead back in this truck series. Of course, last time by, he was about a tenth slower than the guys that are in front of him. But I think he's trying to maybe do that in an effort to save tire. And I think a lot of guys probably have that in mind at the moment right now as well.
Gotta give credit to Garrett here at the moment, hanging up there with Cherry for the race lead, just staying patient, just staying conservative. In fact, the gaps between first and second and third separated by about 2 truck lengths.
Yeah, it looks like these guys are being pretty patient with one another. Been kind of surprised to see that, just considering I think a lot of these guys have kind of got their seatbelts tightened. They're ready for the long run here. Of course, we're lap 59 now, coming to 60. So definitely still a long way to go. Just, I do believe, 91 laps to go here next time by. As we do see, I do believe, Vial, you talk about him actually trying to challenge Tyler Truex right now for that 8th place position. Of course, last time we looked at Truex, he was actually on the edge of the top 10. He was fighting for that 10th spot. Now has moved up into 8th and is in danger, maybe dropping back to 9th again. As Vial is starting to really put some pressure here.
Yeah, Vial wants it on Tyler Truex. See if he can fight back after Truex just made the pass. How about the guy in 10th? We've yet to talk about him tonight, and that is Glenn Grimm. Highest he's been in this race so far, started 23rd, and he's in 10th.
Yeah, definitely the 08. Haven't talked a whole lot about him kind of all season. Definitely been looking really good. Driver of the 08, Sickle Express driver for JCR. That's what it says here. Looks like he is going to lose the spot, though, to Dennis in the 81. Moves up to 10th place, it looks like.
Brian, we've got a race for second, too. Freeman side by side with Garrett in the center of 1 and 2. And Freeman, can he clear? Barely.
Yeah, he just jumped up in front of Matt Garrett, was barely able to get clear there. Garrett, of course, going to try to see if he can't possibly do the crossover. We'll just have to see how successful he's going to be at this. Of course, I do believe Freeman has the advantage of the 67's draft here. I think that's going to play a big role. And it looks like Freeman is able to defend against the charging Matt Garrett, who's trying to get that spot back. Look at Freeman all the way almost at the fence here. A lot of these drivers running really high. You see, that's what Matt Cherry's kind of MO is at the moment.
Everyone wants to run this Larson line for right now here, Brian. Everyone knows that low line not really the place to be unless you want to make a move. Freeman pulled out a line, and he's got a chance at Cherry.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think Freeman's got a good shot at today's win. I mean, it just still a long way to go. But he was fastest in practice. I mean, this guy always seems to find himself in the podium position, but never really able to cross the line in first. Really good long run pace. This guy always seems to know exactly what lap times he needs to turn in order to really maximize the tire life, as he's going to possibly try to go to the inside of Cherry once again. Of course, we saw a really awesome finish there to stage 2 between Cherry and Freeman, so I think that their business is not concluded yet, Marty.
Now watch out for the guy in 4th. He wants to make it a battle as well. Jurassic from a penalty to now battling for the lead on lap 64. Josh Ball has brought the Red Bull truck into the pits. Not sure what's going on with the Pittsburgh native.
Yeah, this is definitely an interesting decision. I think the tires must have just gotten to where they're too hard
Garrett's
to manage.
coming in.
So here comes Matt Garrett to pit road.
This is green flag pit stops coming up right here.
This is interesting. Why are these guys pitting so soon? They have 60 laps of fuel, and they're pitting on lap 26. A lot of drivers see Tyler Truex coming down as well.
I wonder what they're trying to do here, Brian. If they're trying to set their next window to lap 120, lap 125, cut that window in half, and be guaranteed to make it to the finish.
I mean, that could be a strategy, but I just don't see that really working. I mean, just consider they're going to lose a lot of time having to navigate pit road an extra time. We'll have to wait and see how this kind of all plays out.
Now, remember here as well, a lot of drivers pitted on lap 37, so that could be the case for them to pit on lap 37 and set up a strategy to cut in half as they're side-by-side again for the top spot.
Yeah, Freeman definitely looking to see if he can't possibly get this lead, but just does not have a lot of help. It's so difficult to pass by yourself, and this is going to help out Jurassic as he is going to possibly be moving up to 2nd place. He is scored in 2nd at the moment. Will he be able to keep it, though? Because you see Freeman, he is still trying to stay alive here, and I do believe, yeah, Jurassic is going to be scored in 2nd once they cross the start-finish line. But, of course, they have pulled away substantially on Sean Bounty. He's a 2nd back now, the 4th place driver.
Yeah, Bounty pitted on lap 37, but the first guy on that pitted on lap 47 is Dennis. He runs in 5th. First guy that pitted on lap 47 on tires is Anthony Burleson, who is in 11th.
Also see some battle a little bit further back here for the... Oh, interesting.
We hit the commitment cone
close.
just barely, yeah. He came in way too hot.
Here. This is so odd that these guys are pitting this early. I mean, this is a very, very odd, and I think that, like you said, I think it's got something to do with when they pitted last on lap 37. I think the guys that went in and topped off that last caution, I think that's exactly why they did that. I'm looking at guys like Roger Diebold. I do believe, I'm trying to remember some of the other drivers that did that as well. J.D. Woodward, I remember, did that. So watch out for those drivers. I think they're going to stay out a little bit longer. Oh, we got somebody slow coming down pit road here.
A lot of guys coming in. And I can tell you with Cherry, he did get popped for a penalty over a 20-second hold for the driver of the 67. That could be the difference to winning and losing a race.
And actually, our producer just graciously actually gave us a bit of information. That I saw that number 60, and I thought that meant they can make it 60 laps. It actually represents 60% fuel. So that does mean that I do believe these guys could probably make it to only about lap 30 to 40, I would have to guesstimate. So that's interesting. Man, I'm so glad that our producer was paying attention and had said something about that, because I was like, what is going on?
Sean Bounty also penalized on pit road. He's got a long stop taking place. So we've seen 2 penalties under this green flag run. And your current leader is Dennis in the 81.
Yeah, of course, Dennis did pit 22 laps ago. Of course, I do believe he took right sides only, if I'm not mistaken, but he's definitely looking like it's going to possibly work out for him. He's going to get some laps led. If a caution came out right now, he'd be in good prime position. And we talk about penalties, though. That is a huge thing. You get a penalty here. It's so easy to do at any racetrack, really. You know, one of my good friends always says, and I give him credit for it, of course, you race for show, you pit for dough. You can be fast all day long on the racetrack, but if you make a mistake on pit road and the green flag stays out, you did that to yourself, brother. And you could be fast, but it ain't gonna really matter. It's Jurassic getting incredibly close to the side of Vial here. Oh, contact, a little bit of contact.
Just came across the start-finish line, racing for 12th. I don't know if that could be for the race lead. Now that's 4 laps of fresher tires for Jurassic, then for Vial. First amongst the drivers that did pit on that run, Tyler Truex in 10. So we're just waiting on the top 9, who we should expect at around lap 74, 75 or so in the next 3 to 5 laps.
Yeah, we're seeing a big difference in speed there from Jurassic and Vial, and they're only 4 laps difference on their tires at the moment. So you can definitely see that even just 4 laps is a big difference, as he is rocketing his way through these guys that are on the lead lap right now. So I really feel like those new tires are going to benefit him quite a lot. We'll have to see how that kind of plays out. Of course, once these guys actually come down, they'll have the newer tires, and I think TJ Lee is going to be coming down pit road here, kind of slowing down in front of the group. That was kind of a scary pit stop there. He kind of slowed down, and they had to go through wide in order to avoid him. Luckily, did not turn out too terribly, though.
Yeah, very tight and a very close call there, that's for sure. And see Lee in the pits.
Yeah, luckily that was pretty close. Freeman got incredibly close to hitting TJ Lee, but luckily that was not the case, as Dennis still out on the racetrack.
Now he's in.
He's coming down.
Yep. So this is the window we all expected. That gives Roger Diebold the lead here.
Yeah, of course, Roger Diebold was one of the drivers that did pit that extra time. They get a little bit of extra fuel in the truck, so he's going to be able to go a little bit further than the rest of these drivers. So keep an eye on him. I think he'll be coming down probably in the next 5 laps, possibly. Yeah,
Diebold pitted on lap 47, so we should expect him in just a little bit. Same with Burleson, Formosa. Now, something to keep in mind here, too. Diebold has 13 drivers on the lead lap. Justin Clapper is a lap down, so if a yellow were to fly, he'd be just outside the top 10, so that would help him out really good.
Yeah, and if caution came out, he'd want to probably try to see if he can't lock some of these guys a lap down, that's for sure. Less competition, as it looks like Burleson, I don't know if he just got loose. I think
he's looking for that lead. And now he's coming in. I think that was the signal off turn 2. Yep, he's slowing up.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to be coming to pit road. And, of course, man, how stressful it has got to be to come down pit road when you got all these just drivers are coming up on you so fast.
You got Montgomery in third spot, racing with Woodward for a position. Continue to look here. Jurassic with a half-second advantage on Tyler Truex. So he did make a pass a little while ago. Trying to see where that was. That was about a minute ago.
Yeah, I do believe Jurassic is going to be the overall net leader when everybody else pits. I think Roger Diebold is coming down now.
A lot of smoke coming into pit road, and Greg McConey made contact with, I believe, Montgomery in a close call.
Yeah, I did see all that smoke, and it seemed like it was coming from Greg McConey, probably locking up the brakes. We'll have to see if any penalties are going to be paid out for that. Looks like he's going to be taking tires, as it looks like J.D. Woodward at the moment is in the lead. But he's coming to pit road, so that's going to put Jurassic back into the lead. Man went from last all the way back up to first. What a day the 6 of Jordan Jurassic has had, and he is on some of the freshest tires in the field as well.
Yes.
So it really seems like it pays off to kind of long pit a little bit more than the rest of the drivers. It seems like that really paid off for him.
Yeah, Jurassic pitted the latest amongst drivers, and he's pulled off a 1.7 second advantage on John Freeman. Jurassic has the car to beat without question, as Freeman just made the pass for second on Tyler Truex.
Yeah, of course, Tyler Truex is on 14-lap old tires while John Freeman's on 10-lap old tires. So that 4-lap difference seems to be quite substantial. It's surprising to see that being that big of a deal. Let's do a quick rundown through the top 10 at the moment. Jordan Jurassic, of course, your leader. John Freeman's in second place. Tyler Truex is in third. Greg Biles, fourth. Josh Ball sits fifth. Justin Clapper is in sixth place. The 93 of Aaron is in seventh. Noah Rainwater, eighth. Mark McCrary to be exact, in ninth place. And Robert Condon is in the 10th place position. So definitely a lot of movers and shakers here. A lot of guys on vastly different tires. I don't think there's hardly anybody that really is on the same strategy here today.
Yeah. Varying strategies all around with all the cautions we had in the first two stages. I don't want to jinx it. I hope I don't jinx it. But the longest green flag run that we have seen in this race today.
100%. Now, I do want to give a shout out to, while we have a little bit of a moment here, a shout out to another one of our sponsors here on the Thunderclap iRacing series. Of course, that being RL Productions. They are a Baltimore-based video marketing agency specializing in digital advertising for businesses in the DMV. RL Productions offers custom brand strategies tailored to your organization's unique goals with in-house level attention to detail. RL Productions also offers complete event solutions for your conference and convention needs with both on-ground and live streaming production capabilities. Visit rlproductioncrew.com to turn your company's goals into real-life productions. You can see, of course, Robert Condon's race car there has that awesome RL Productions logo right on the race car. Of course, Jordan Jurassic still out front. He's got about a 2.3 second, almost 2.4 second lead at the moment. Last time by, he was a tenth, a little actually over a tenth, faster than John Freeman. So I think Jurassic, I don't think anything's going to stop him. I mean, they've thrown the book at this guy, had an EOL penalty. I mean, I just can't believe that. Usually when you get an EOL penalty at Kansas, there's no coming back from that. But this guy, they can't hold him back. It seems, they could probably give him another EOL penalty. He'll still find his way up to the front.
I think that long run really has helped him out when it came to that penalty, to fight back. And then I think it wasn't just that, but also a caution where he was able to dodge a couple bullets and then move his way back up through the field to get to the lead.
Yeah, 100%. Still some battling up on the track. Oh, Scott Formosa just got the wall. I was kind of watching Burleson and Neeson. They were kind of fighting it out. Looks like Burleson has moved up into the 16th place position, but Scott Formosa just kind of pounded the outside wall there in turn one. Hopefully he doesn't have too much damage. He's running really high up on the racetrack here. That's one thing about a track like Kansas. When as the long run kind of goes on, you run higher and higher and higher. And, you know, that wall comes up quite quick. You got to be really careful with it. I've always kind of likened a track like Kansas when you run to the top side. It's almost like a dirt track. You really got to be real careful, you know, just such exact inputs in order to avoid that wall.
Absolutely. We've got a good race for oh, hang on, 63 clappers up in the wall. Just get it. I don't see too much damage.
Yeah, Dustin Clapper, as you mentioned, in the wall. That's going to bring the 93 of Aaron up into possibly contention here for that 7th place position. Doesn't look too bad. This new damage model, I think, is a lot more forgiving for little hits. And, you know, so that's a good thing for some of these drivers. But I'll tell you what, that's not a good thing. When you hit it hard enough, it takes pieces off of the race car. So, but I know a lot of drivers, Marty, have been so excited about this new damage model. You know, a lot of drivers, you know, were like, I don't want to race the trucks because the damage model, excuse my French, sucks, you know.
And now we have the damage model across all 3 NASCAR series. And then if you include other asphalt ovals, you've got it on both the Super and the Cars Tour Late model, the IndyCar, I'm sorry, I can't say that. I didn't say all of it. The open-wheeled Dallara series. Let's go there, okay? I love the damage model that iRacing has. It's also converted over to dirt with the sprint cars and the late models. We'll love to see it on the dirt modified, the Northeast modifieds, in the next build. So.
Yeah, I mean, iRacing has really been putting in a whole lot of work. It definitely is paying off here. I mean, a lot of times we were always, you know, like, man, I wish iRacing would do this. I wish iRacing would do that. But I think they definitely have delivered the last few months when it comes to these damage models and things like that. And eventually we'll end up seeing rain at some point. But I'm looking a little bit of some development here for the lead. Jurassic is starting to lose that gap. That gap is starting to decrease as we, of course, do see some great battling here a little bit further back. I do believe I see Matt Cherry kind of battling with Sean Boundy. Of course, McCrary, I do believe, just got by Noah Rainwater for that 9th place position.
And that is true. McCrary starting to possibly make his way up. Remember, got in the wall a bunch before the end of stage 1, fell outside the top 15. He's rebounded to 9th. A lot of racing left to go, just about 60 laps remaining.
And also I see Burleson, I think, just lost a spot to Montgomery, and that is for the 16th place position. Lots of lap traffic out here. I see actually Brandon Schumann also made it past Burleson. So Burleson's starting to actually struggle a little bit back here. Also see Justin Clapper and Ball fighting it out for that 6th place position. Of course, last time by, Josh Ball was very much off the pace compared to these guys. He did pit, I think, a little bit sooner than these guys, just, I think, out of necessity. We do see Tyler Truex now coming down to pit road for one of his stops, and I think that means he's going to have 1 stop left. I think the majority of these drivers, after they pit this time, they're going to probably have to do it one more time again. So definitely still a lot of opportunity for these guys to make mistakes on pit road.
Absolutely. Dennis just made the pass on Vile for 3rd. And moves his way up. Vale, excuse me, makes his way into the pits.
Been very impressed with the 81 of Dennis. I mean, he's been looking really, really good. I think this is the best race we've seen him in thus far. I mean, usually he's kind of a mid-pack kind of guy. Don't see a lot of them. Don't get to talk about a lot of them. But, man, he's impressing here at Kansas. I think this must be his track.
I think it is his track here at the moment. He's just been kicking so much butt. I don't know if he added some rowdy energy into his fuel tank or what it is, but it's working pretty well.
Yeah, definitely is. Of course, we talk about the race for the lead. Of course, Freeman, I've been talking about that gap has been decreasing from Freeman to Jurassic. It steadily is still decreasing. Freeman is catching Jurassic at the moment. I mean, the gap right now, 1.8 seconds. Beforehand, it was over 2 seconds. And it's a noticeable difference that Freeman, of course, last time by was over a 10th faster than Jurassic. So I'm telling you, this guy's got the long run. I talk about it every week. This guy always seems like he's fast on the long run.
I hate to break the 3rd wall, but if we can have Austin, if he can pull up the time delta of the last couple of laps here, would love to see how that gap looks. There you see it right there.
Yeah, you look at the different laps. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's been a tenth faster, or at least a few hundredths, a half a tenth faster on all three of those laps that are on the screen here.
If I were to guess, because obviously we have the pit stop coming up, I would guess Freeman would be in striking distance within the next 25 laps or so. This keeps up.
Yeah, I think he's got the long run in mind. I think that's what, he's not looking at the short-term gains. I just hope he's not falling victim to that carrot on a stick mentality. That's something that you could easily, you see that guy, oh, I'm catching him, and that causes you to drive the car a little bit harder. So I hope that's not the case. We see a little bit of 3-1 here. Greg Vial, of course, just had a green flag stop, was threading the needle there, trying to get by Montgomery and Ryan Zunk, and he has successfully done that. Montgomery having a pretty good race today, too, up in 10th at the moment. It looks like we might have some drivers coming down pit road. Aaron and McCrary both coming down pit road.
Yep, McCrary. Yep, again, we mentioned McCrary still trying to rebound here. No penalties so far on the stint, still clean. And when I look at things, a couple guys I'm looking at here. 67, Matt Cherry, he's in 20th.
Oh, big decision here from Freeman. He comes down pit road. I think he almost lost it coming into pit road there. Watch out for him. Does he get a penalty? Because he did almost spin it out coming to pit road. It could be a speeding
I'm going to watch
violation.
this closely.
Watch him here. I think, because I saw him kind of after, look at this. He's coming down pit road. I think I saw him when he was actually on pit road. He was kind of sideways. Yeah, right there. He almost spun it. What a save for
Freeman's out. He did not speed. Wow. Jurassic is now in the pits.
That was a magnificent set of driving, or, that was great. I mean, to see him completely sideways there and able to keep it going in the right direction. Of course, Dennis now back up into the lead here as we're on lap 98, coming to 99, verging on now 50 laps to go here in just a couple laps. Now, I'm really going to watch this closely with Freeman and Jurassic. Does Freeman kind of leapfrog over Jurassic?
Well, Jurassic is already out of the pits, and Freeman just came across the start-finish line, so...
It's going to be close. We're going to definitely keep an eye on this.
Freeman's in turn one. Jurassic's going to beat him, but remember, Freeman's got the horsepower advantage. It takes about a lap to get up to full speed.
And how much time did Freeman lose with that little mishap on the entry to pit road? I think he is now about 7/10 back from Jurassic.
So Jurassic was 0.8 of a second better on pit road as a whole. Freeman actually just set the quickest lap of the race at 31:44. He was actually also faster when it came to his pit stop too. So his pit stop really saved him, 14:78 to a 15:02.
And now he's in Jurassic's draft. So this is going to be, and think about this though, before these guys went down pit road, Jurassic had about 1.7 seconds on Freeman. Because Freeman pitted a lap sooner than Jurassic, he was able to gain a second on Jurassic. So this is big. But these guys are coming up on some lap traffic. You see, of course, or not really lap traffic. That is actually Dennis, our leader, but he is on older tires. This is going to be interesting. I love races like this. This is all going to be about strategy. This is all going to be about strategy, making sure you hit your marks when it comes to pit road.
Got a race for second developing. Roger Diebold and Scott Formosa. Remember, this is just before they have to pit. I remember, it's a 10-lap difference between about the top 10 to 11th on back. And Dennis is in, so this is the race for the lead.
Got Roger Diebold trying to see if he can't get some laps led here. Of course, Formosa, though, last time by was a couple hundredths faster. I think in the next 5 or so laps, these guys will be forced to pit here. As it seems like the fuel window is about 31 or 32 from what I've been noticing here. But 102 laps down, ladies and gentlemen. We definitely appreciate y'all joining us here on Grid Vision's presentation of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC Incorporated. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We definitely appreciate it. Comment down below. I know a lot of these drivers go back and watch these races, and they love to see, when their fans and their supporters, family members, friends comment and, shout them out. We definitely love to see that. And, of course, who do you think is going to win? Who are you supporting? We definitely love to hear from you. And I think at this point, we'll go ahead and take a brief step away. We'll be right back with our last 50 laps here of the Thunderclap iRacing Series race at Kansas Speedway.
Eagleswood Creations, your one-stop shop for wood, acrylic, custom engravings such as signs, boards, earrings, and much, much more. You can follow them today on Facebook, Instagram, or you can check out their website, eagleswoodcreations.com.
Hey homeowners, you're going to drag your hose through the yard in 2023? There's a better way to water your lawn. TLC Incorporated has been installing custom and professional underground lawn sprinkler systems for over 38 years. Our team would be happy to come out to your property at your convenience and provide you with a free, no obligation quote for a new custom underground lawn sprinkler system for your home. No more dragging the hose. No more dry and dusty patches in your yard. Our smart lawn sprinkler systems will efficiently provide water to your lawn all season long with a healthy green grass from your front yard to your back. Click the blue Learn More button below, and the team at TLC can start building the perfect lawn sprinkler system for your home right away. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's throw it back to the guys in the booth.
Welcome back to Grid Vision's presentation of the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC. JD Woodward just came down pit road, and here we are, a race for, I do believe, possibly the lead going to be developing here shortly. Jurassic, of course, has surged back to the lead. Of course, what's interesting, though, Marty, Freeman's not closing in like I thought he would be. About 9/10 is the gap between first and second at the moment.
Well, check the gap here at the start-finish line, but remember, we're now in a flurry of lap traffic here with this long run. So it's a 1 second advantage as of right now, and the last time by, Jurassic by 100th.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe Freeman, when he came off pit road, was really driving it kind of hard. Could that play a factor? And it really is going to, I think, all be reliant on how successful these guys are getting through the traffic. And it looks like, I think they have gotten through, but now over a second. So I think Freeman was not as successful getting through this traffic. Of course, we do see, I do believe, Josh Ball just got passed by the 93 of Aaron. And here comes Clapper to the inside. We've got a battle going on right now for 5th, 6th, and 7th. And I do believe even 8th, as McCrary's not that far back either.
This is the fun one I've been watching for the last couple laps or so. Aaron with the just trying to hang on Justin Clapper, and they've got fresher tires than Josh Ball. McCrary also has fresher tires than the one. Ball pit on lap 92. McCrary, Clapper, and Aaron put on about lap 95, 96.
Yeah, this is very interesting indeed. And the thing is about these guys who have we've had a lot of green flag pit stops here tonight. And you know, with the fuel window being as little as it is here, tonight. Of course, we saw those guys that elected to not take tires earlier during those stages. I think that was a really good call, considering, because I think some of these guys are going to be out of tires. They maybe even have to do a green flag pit stop without being able to take tires here, Marty. I mean, you think about it, these guys, a lot of these drivers have been down pit road 4 times already.
That's a great point. I see some guys and some drivers as well that have pitted 6 times, but they just decide to top off on fuel. So I believe for like Jurassic and Freeman, their next stop will be the final stop of this race.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I think these guys were allotted just, I think pretty much the exact number of tires they needed. Because I think after that stop, Jurassic and Freeman are going to be out of tires. A lot of the other drivers are going to be in the same boat as well. And if we do get that late race caution, that could put some guys definitely in a precarious situation, that's for sure.
Yeah, if we get a yellow flag to fly late in the going, I think this brings up some interesting situations here with a set left, possibly. Do you take 2? Do you take 4? I don't think we've really seen anyone try to save a set. If James Seawright was still in this field, if he was still on the lead lap, that's the first guy I would think of. However, though, he had to back out on lap 52.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting for sure to see how this is all going to play out. Of course, I do want to give a shout out once again to our title sponsor here with the Thunderclap iRacing Series, of course, TLC Incorporated. There's no rain in tonight's forecast at the track, but there is back in TLC's territories. If storms and showers leave your backyard flooded and no fun, give your yard a little TLC with 100% money-back guarantee drainage solutions for your home. With nearly 40 years experience, TLC has the experience this summer to get the water away and let your family play. Call 888-PICK-TLC for more information. I'll tell you what, I need to give my yard a little TLC. I tried to get out there and cut the grass today, and I need to get them to come out here and give me some sprinklers.
Brian, you will not believe this today. 58 degrees on a June day in Western New York. It rained, I want to say, Monday, so that was much needed after a couple of hot and humid days last week. But I don't know if we need TLC yet. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Of course, we see Dennis starting to make some headway here on the 93 of Aaron. He's on fresher tires by quite a large margin, too. 6 laps difference here. And he makes it look easy getting by Aaron. Now up to 6th. I'm telling you, watch out for this 81. He might not have, he might not be able to win this race, but I'll tell you, he's got a lot of speed. I think he's definitely got a top 5 in his future here. Of course, he's catching up quickly to Justin Clapper. Of course, the difference in tires there is 5 laps.
You got sideways there in the center 1 and 2 there as well.
I think that was Freeman, wasn't it?
That was Freeman, you're right. So, but something I'm thinking about here with the drivers that pitted on lap 100 and beyond. If there's they're expected to pit with just about 20 laps to go in this race, could they possibly go for track position and take 2 tires? I could see that happening.
It could be a strategy. It could be.
I could see it.
Well, my thoughts are, you know, I'd say a few months ago, 2 tires was not even a thing that you would think to do in iRacing. But iRacing, and we talked about how they've been really updating and working on things. The tire model allows for that now. It can work. And, you know, tracks like this, it could even help your car in a lot of ways, you know, because if you take the certain tires, it could really loosen you up, and that could be what you need.
Josh Ball just lost a couple of spots down to 11th. Diebold and Formosa make the pass. That's the best race on track. You got the same with Montgomery and Condon behind.
Yeah, definitely some close racing there. For the most part, everybody else quite spread out at the moment. But, yeah, Formosa, Ball, Montgomery all pretty close to one another, as well as Condon, as you mentioned. Of course, we do also have Greg McConey, who is, I do believe, not too far away from J.D. Woodward, and I do believe Noah Rainwater. It looks like I do believe we're going to see possibly McConey's going to take this spot from Rainwater here and move up to that 14th spot. I'm surprised Greg McConey's not looking as good here tonight. I mean, Tyler Truex down to pit road, but Greg McConey, we've seen him really have some race, you know, top 5 pace in a lot of races. And it just doesn't seem like that's the case here tonight, as we see, of course, as I mentioned, the 69 is coming to pit road. I think this is going to be his final stop, and he's going to be cutting it really close on gas here. But Jordan Durasic now out to over 2 seconds on Freeman now. So I think, you know, Durasic, he's got the best shot at this. Oh, here he comes. No, that's actually Vielle. The cars look a little similar there. I was getting ready to say I thought Durasic was coming to pit road. This is interesting strategy there for Vielle. He's been on a little bit of a different strategy. He had 28 laps on his equipment. So definitely don't blame him for coming down pit road. At the moment, we have 16 drivers that remain on the lead lap. Of course, with these multiple green flag pit stops that we've seen here tonight, that's not a surprise to me. That you know, a lot of guys have been messing up on pit road. One guy that I've been shocked at that messed up on pit road was Sean Boundy. You know, has been really one of the most dominant drivers. We see Matt Garrett coming into his box here. I do believe we have a replay queued up here. Not sure what he did. He oh, looks like he. What the heck? Might have fell. I don't know if he fell asleep at the wheel or what. He definitely just took a little bit of a trip through the grass. I don't think that's going to harm him too much.
Sunday drive.
Well, I mean, a lot of these drivers, you know, they haven't had a lot of time, I'd say, to relax and kind of focus a little bit and just kind of clear their minds. And I think that was kind of a symptom of that. You know, he was trying to, like, okay, I'm just going to turn my brain off for a second. Oh, Condon with some issues there coming on to pit road. He lost it, I think. He might have an unsafe pit entry here.
And he was racing ball for the 14th position at the time.
And we're going to take a look back and see exactly what happened here with Condon. And it looks
I think the apron. Yeah. The apron just completely messed him up when you're in the middle, and that's an illegal entry. When you're on the apron in the center of turn 4 coming on in, you just cannot control your car, really.
Well, yeah, it's the difference in the banking there. I mean, you know, you got one, two different angles, and your tire, 2 tires of his were on the actual racetrack, and 2 tires were on the apron, and it doesn't work. And unfortunately, that's going to pay a hefty fine too, because I do believe, going to get quite a big hold. Of course, we see John Freeman's down pit road. We also saw Dennis come down pit road, Clapper, McCrary. So we got and Boundy, of course, he's not even on the lead lap, but a lot of drivers are making their way into pit road for their final stops. Durasic, though, still out on the racetrack, 27 laps on his equipment. Here he comes down pit road, along with the 2 of Adam Schramm. Of course, Schramm not racing him for position at the moment. The 25 laps to go here in just a moment. Definitely interesting the way this is all kind of playing out. And it looks like Devold is going to surge back ahead to the lead here. Of course, he is 20 laps on his equipment. And he is not too far back or too far away from Scott Formosa. These guys seem like they can't get away from one another here tonight.
Yeah, and there you see the pit strategy and how long the top 4 have gone on for. We're expecting them in the next 5 laps or so. Should mention as well, Jurassic has picked up about, you know what? This could actually get interesting. About 2.5 seconds on Freeman. So that's the gap between the eventual leaders.
Yeah, and I feel like Durasic has been absolutely nailing his pit stops here. He's going to have a little bit newer tires as well, just considering Freeman this time did short pit Durasic. It did gain him a little bit of time, but I just don't think it was truly enough, as Durasic, of course, is dealing with was dealing with some traffic. Of course, he was able to get through quite successfully. Now 23 laps left, as of course Diebold still out on the racetrack, being followed by Formosa. Of course, look at Diebold trying to even break the draft here. Haven't seen a whole lot of that tonight.
Yeah, we haven't seen that really at all since early in the race when we saw C right up there near the front. So now the question's going to be, when they come in. Now, Jurassic is 20 seconds behind, so I don't think they'll have a chance to win the race. But if they can get track position and a late yellow comes out, they'll have fresher tires and could stack the field up when we come back to green.
Yeah, I think that, 3 wide a little bit. I do believe right around, who is that?
Burleson, I believe. Nope, excuse me, Woodward.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. There's a lot of action on the racetrack right now, and with that 3 wide action, there's definitely an opportunity for a late race caution to possibly come out, and that would change everything for a driver like Roger Diebold or Scott Formosa or even Montgomery. A lot of these drivers, I mean, of course, the top 6 right now are on 20-plus lap old tires at the moment.
Absolutely, and I think we may start to see the leaders come in. Nope, actually, no, we're not going to see the leaders come in just yet, as Diebold and Formosa stuck up top. And now we're starting to see the 100 guys come in. Ryan Zunk is the first one in.
Yeah, definitely interesting to note that. I mean, I like that strategy you were kind of talking about. Do these guys come down pit road and possibly just take a 2-tire stop? I mean, I really would want to see what the tire wear looks like on the left side tires to see if that would even be a possible strategy. Of course, that is a good point our producer just raised there. If you do take a full tank of gas, a lot of times spending that time on pit road usually would probably be about the same amount of time as a 4-tire stop. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they take less gas. There's definitely, I think, a little bit of wiggle room here. Of course, they do only have, I think, 18 laps to go this next time by. That would mean they would be able to take just a little lighter gas.
Yes, that's a great point. Try and get enough to get to the finish, and just in case, have enough for 3 overtimes.
And it looks like I do believe we do have some pit stops here. Montgomery coming down pit road, as well as I do believe Scott Formosa.
Yep, Burleson's also in the 79. Top 2 still trying. I think this is the longest that we've seen them out for a stint until maybe now. Nope, Diebold keeps it going. Checking on McConey and Woodward. And McConey's bringing it in.
Coming down. And yep, Diebold, McConey, both coming down, as well as Scott Formosa. So this should cycle right back to Jurassic as the leader. And wow, this has been such a fantastic race. Staying green as long as it has definitely been interesting. Of course, Woodward actually is still on the racetrack, so I thought he had came down with them. He should be coming down possibly this time by. And it looks like he is staying up on the top of the track. I think this is a Hail Mary move for J.D. Woodward. I think he's like, I don't have a hope of if I pit here, I don't have a hope of winning. But if I stay out just a couple laps longer,
you were saying, Brian, if he stays out, he'll have a chance.
Yeah, especially if a caution comes out. I mean, of course, we only have 10 drivers at the moment that are on the lead lap, so that could be a possibility. Of course, at the moment, Noah Rainwater is scored as your lucky dog. So we'll have to see how that kind of works. Of course, Diebold, McConey are on fresher tires. They could possibly get up here. Yep, here comes Woodward. So this is going to officially give the lead back to Jurassic here as we come to 15 laps to go. Of course, the gap between Jurassic and Freeman is, I do believe, about 2.5 seconds at the moment. So Freeman not really in a position to get up there and battle with Jurassic. Jurassic's in pretty a safe place at the moment, which is quite surprising. Of course, we do see, I do believe, a little bit of battling here between Dennis and McCrary for that 8th and 9th place. Or actually, it's going to be the 7th and 8th spot. See, of course, Dennis actually working the top side. McCrary's on the bottom here.
So I was telling you as well, Brian, about if some drivers would take 2 tires, and that's what J.D. Woodward just did. Looking as well, Diebold took 4 tires, McConey took 2.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting to see McConey do that. I don't know if it's working out, though, because Diebold, I think, just made the pass there for 11.
The race I've been watching, though, a lot of, I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Brian. It's near the front. Greg Veal and Tyler Truex for third for the bottom step of the podium here.
Yeah, that's actually a big race going on right now between those two. Of course, Tyler Truex, we talked about him as well. He started in 29th position last in the field and has been just a huge mover. Gained, I do believe, 26 positions in this race. So he's definitely got a good shot at possibly getting a podium here. I mean, last time by, he was fairly comparable to Vial here. Of course, you see Vial. Oh, Truex, I think, almost got into the wall there.
Yeah, that was tight for Tyler.
Sad to say, a little bit disappointed that Ryan Truex didn't show up here tonight. I do believe he finished second place last week at Bristol, and I think he was pretty excited about Kansas here, so hopefully everything's okay with Ryan. As here comes Tyler Truex to the inside of the 26. And I think he's going to be able to get the pass complete. He slides up just barely in front of Vial.
This has
Vial
been some
almost
really,
trying to, yeah.
These two have been racing each other for like the past 30 to 50 laps or so, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it definitely has been a ton of fun to watch. And going back a little bit further as they still race, we don't have to switch cameras or anything. I do want to talk about McConey and Diebold. Talking about Diebold, Diebold had passed McConey, but McConey passed him back. Lap times there for McConey are actually looking pretty good right now, considering he's on the two-tire stop. I think that was a really good strategy for that driver. I mean, he's looking quick. I think that really worked. I mean, look at the lap time difference between him and Diebold. I mean, Diebold did take 4 tires on his stop. McConey hit a 0.3 faster lap last time by.
Well, remember, the McConey team, they are... Hang on a second. What is that on McConey's scheme? I have not seen that yet tonight.
I do believe, I think that it's a boy. I think that they are having a baby.
That's a pretty cool gender reveal, if that is true. Last week, one side was pink, the other side was blue. It was like a tune-in for next week, and I think we have our answer. So, a future iRacing champ in the making. So, congratulations to McConey family.
Yeah, for sure. That is awesome. Definitely awesome. I didn't even notice that it had because I remember last week that we did see it said it's a boy on there. I didn't see the one side that had pink and one side on blue. And to see today, you know, big shout out to that McConey family. That's great. I mean, that's got to be awesome to hopefully it's, you know, have a bundle of joy. And definitely, you got to love that. I mean, a child will change your life. I'll tell you that. I don't have a kid, but I know my sister does. And it definitely, she's a lot more responsible now than she was before she had her child.
Yeah, I've got 2 nephews at home. I know that feeling too, Brian. So, but I gotta admit, I did not realize that until just now. So I probably have people. There's probably people in chat going, "You just realized that on lap 140? What in the world?"
Yeah, I know, right? So late in the race. We see you, Joshua Kerner. Definitely appreciate your support there. And, of course, the race lead has narrowed up a little bit here. Jurassic, for the last lap or so, has been getting caught by John Freeman. Of course, 1.8 seconds is the gap. I think he's still running out of time here as we're coming to 6 laps to go. Time is definitely running short. That hourglass, the sand is getting light there, Marty.
That sand is getting light. Veal holding on to third over Tyler Truex with a lap truck in their way, and that is that's Burleson in the 79 and 18th.
Yeah, I think we were just we see, of course, yeah, that lap car really starting to put some pressure on Tyler Truex as well. Right behind him was almost bump drafting him through the corners. But definitely been interesting to see how this race has progressed as the night has.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Brian, but Tyler is actually pushing the clutch in.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, I did talk about how close he was going to be on fuel. He pitted, I do believe, right at 30 to go.
119.
So he might not make it. We talked about that lap fuel window being about 31 or so. I think he's trying to make sure he makes it. So that might be why he's not able to really challenge Vial quite as hard as he was before. I don't think there's any real danger of Jurassic Freeman or Freeman not making it, but yeah, there is a real chance that we see Tyler Truex not make it. And you got to give a shout out to the 93 of Aaron. Have not seen that driver up in the top 5 in a lot of races, really. I mean, really haven't talked about him. Has not been a front runner from what I've seen thus far this season, but he's having a fantastic show today. I mean, look at that, up to 5th right now in that race car, and yeah, it's been looking quick. I mean, a lot of these drivers that maybe struggle at the other racetracks, looks like Kansas is the place that they seem like they are finding, and they're thriving.
Yeah, Aaron started 18th. He's made his way up into the 5th position. We've got 3 laps to go. Seems like that's the spot he's going to finish in, a second behind Tyler Truex. But if Tyler runs out of fuel, Aaron may find himself finishing 4th.
Yeah, definitely going to be a good day there for him. There's 2 laps to go. Next time by, the white flag will be flying. Of course, white flag is sponsored by RL Productions. Jordan Durasic in the lead at the moment. Coming up on lap traffic, though, he is just caught Robert Condon. And, of course, right there in front of Condon is Noah Rainwater. So there are some obstacles in front of Durasic right now. And it looks like Durasic will take the RL Productions white flag. Next flag will end it no matter what. No more cautions. Wow, what a green last stage we have had here tonight as he exits turn 2 for the final time onto the backstretch. And I think it's pretty much all said and done unless he hits the driver of in front of him. I think Durasic's pretty much got it in the wind here. As he comes out of turn 4, Jordan Durasic is going to win at Kansas Speedway. And what a race for him. Started on the pole, went all the way to the back based on an EOL penalty, and still wins this race.
Tyler Truex is out of gas. He will not finish in 3rd. Veal takes the 3rd spot. Truex coasts across the line to finish in 7th.
Wow. He almost lost that position. You saw Montgomery and Dennis were coming up quite quickly. So I'm surprised at how close on gas Tyler Truex was there. So you gotta know. And think about this though. This is another little layer to this Durasic winning this race. He started on the pole this race, won stage 1, and of course had that AOL penalty, went all the way to the back and won this race. He won last week at Bristol too. Durasic has had, I'd say, a terrible season before last week's race at Bristol. But I'll tell you what, he has turned it around. 2 races in a row in these trucks. I would not be surprised that he jumps up quite a bit in the truck point standings. As he is going to do a little bit of grass cutting right now. We're not going to pay him to do that, though. So, but what a race for Jordan Durasic, able to collect the victory. With that, I think they're actually getting ready to do a dual burnout here. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, you love to see those.
We'll let them celebrate for just a moment, and we'll get to our final results here for the evening. I think Durasic's got a little bit more horsepower than Freeman. It looks like he was moving.
I think so, just a little bit. I can see why Jurasic's the better car.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, Jordan Durasic, your victor here tonight. John Freeman finishes in 2nd place. 3rd place, Greg Vial. 4th place in 93 of Aaron. 5th place, Justin Clapper. 6th place, Mark McCrary. 7th place, Tyler Truex. 8th place, the 9 of Montgomery. 9th place, Dennis in the 81. And rounding out the top 10 is Josh Ball.
Scott Formosa 11th, Roger Diebel 12th, Greg McConey 13th, J.D. Woodward 14th, 15th Noah Rainwater, 16th Adam Schramm, 17th Brandon Schumann, 18th T.J. Lee, Damian Neeson 19th, Matt Cherry, who had a good run going earlier in the race, and then a penalty on pit road, finishes 20th.
21st, Sean Boundy. 22nd, Burleson. 23rd, Ryan Zunk. 24th, Robert Condon. 25th, Matt Garrett. 26th, Glenn Grimm. 27th, James Seawright. 28th, Sharik. 29th, Jardon. So definitely a great race for a lot of these drivers. Some guys definitely had a little bit more tragedy than others. I think we'll go ahead and get right into our post-race show, and we'll talk to our top 3 drivers. Give us just a moment to get them all collected. All right, we're going to start off with our 3rd place finisher, Greg Vielle. Definitely fantastic job. You managed to fight off Tyler Truex there, but of course, you also managed to fight him off in more ways than one. You had enough gas to make it there towards the end. Definitely a good job for you here today. I mean, how was the truck feeling? What were some of the challenges here tonight at Kansas?
Overall, the truck felt good. It wasn't too bad. Definitely got tight. It was kind of hard to manage your tires with the green flag runs and how much gas you needed. But other than that, 28 to 3rd. I'll take that any day. I know now I'm hurting in the truck point, so that's a good day for the GVM team.
Yeah, that is a great day for you. I mean, didn't even realize that 28th to 3rd. I think that makes you the biggest mover, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely an awesome day for you. I mean, here at Kansas, how hard was it to pass out there? It seemed like it was hard for drivers to make passes.
Yeah, it was definitely hard. You kind of needed both lanes to do something, but tire management, that was the biggest thing. If you could manage the tires, and I really don't know how the top 2 just pulled away from the field like that. That was awesome to see. But yeah, tire management was really the biggest thing out there.
That it was. Of course, next week tire management is going to be probably another big deal. Of course, we're actually heading to, I do believe, Gateway in the NASCAR Xfinity car. How do you feel about that racetrack? It of course features some shifting as well as, like I said, tire management.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Should be a cool combo. I'm looking forward to it. I've said it before, I love the Xfinity cars, so definitely going to be a race to watch out for.
100%. Well, who can we give a shout out to after your 3rd place finish, Mr. Vielle?
Got to give a shout out to the team. You know, love these guys. Love practicing with them. Love running with them. Got to thank you guys for putting on the show every week. It's awesome to go back and watch, so thank you guys for that. Got to thank Justin White and Justin Clapper for putting the series on. It's been awesome to run. Looking forward to the rest of it. And I got to thank my mom and sister for always tuning in. Love you guys.
All right. Save the best for last. Mom and sister. Got to. Can't forget about the family.
No, sir.
All right, Greg. Thanks for your time, brother. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
That was Greg Vielle, our 3rd place finisher. Next up, Marty is standing by with John Freeman, our 2nd place.
John, a 1-2 finish for your team, the JCR Racing team. What positives do you take away from this run outside of that run, outside the 1-2?
Oh, man, it's hard to take a positive out of finishing 2nd here at Kansas, to be honest. Knowing it's my best track, but getting beat by your teammates, it hurts, but it's also good. I will say a great run by the whole team and overall. I mean, even Glenn Grimm unfortunately had a pit road speeding penalty, but if it wasn't for that, I think we get all 4 JCR guys in the top 10, and I really just, we're trying to make it known that, hey, we're still in this team points battle, and we're not giving up quite yet. So it's been a struggle, but we're getting there, man. We're working on it, and Jordan or JWow's been kicking their butt the last couple weeks.
Were you surprised that after Jurassic had to go to the rear for the pacing penalty, I believe that was, that he could make that comeback all the way to the front?
Oh, no. I've been racing with JWow on between console and iRacing for like 3-4 years now. And if anyone could do it, he can, man. The talent that kid has it's bar none, bro. Like, he's one of the best drivers I've ever had the opportunity to race against, and his talent, as you can see, speaks for itself. I was trying to keep him honest there those last 3 runs in the last stage. Couldn't quite do it, but congratulations to him, and I'm very happy with another P2. I think that's my 4th podium in the last 6 weeks or something like that. So we're getting those points. We're trying to stay in the overall points battle for the points lead for the regular season. I think this puts us in the top 10 in the truck points for the season, and we're just gonna keep fighting, man. See if we can't maybe even get that next gen regular season championship here in 2 weeks.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
We're gonna give them to Matt, JWoww, Glenn Grimm, Thomas Kohick, and then obviously my sponsors, iRacing Designs, Mina Peach, and DNK Management for being on the car. And I appreciate you guys putting this broadcast, and it was fun to be here.
We appreciate your time, man. Great job.
Thank you.
That was John Freeman, our second place finisher, and the only man it seemed like he had anything for Jordan Durasic. How you doing, Jordan? I mean, it looks like 2 races in a row in these trucks that you just got a victory. I mean, you got to be just on cloud 9 right now.
Yep, I am. I'm excited. I told you once I get that first win and I just break through, I felt that momentum would push us through. If it wasn't for the EOL penalty and started stage 2, probably could have swept the race.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like, and what was that EOL penalty based on? Was it because you guys were going too slow to the start? It seemed like y'all did have a little bit of a 10-mile-an-hour discrepancy based on the pace speed.
The leader that stayed out at stage 1, he downshifted the third to first gear real quick and then checked the field up, so they had to delay the green. And they moved third place up to first and called him the control car. And I may have said a snarky remark, but that sent me to the back. But it didn't seem to cause me a problem, as it still raced my way up to the front.
Oh, so a snarky remark got you sent to the back.
Interesting.
That's funny.
I took it to the chin. I said I didn't say anything after that. I mean, I respect Justin White and everything that he does for this league.
Yeah, and it didn't hold you back. It made for a good show for us to see quite an incredible, drive from you to be able to drive your way up. I mean, you talk about momentum from Bristol last week. How did you prepare for this race? I mean, it seemed like you just were on another level to everybody else.
Recently, the last 2 weeks, I've been starting to race with the AI simulators on the iRacing, which I didn't even know was a thing, but I started racing with them, and it's been helping me get ready for the actual race day. And man, I'm gonna continue to keep doing that, because it seems like JCR team got a 1-2. That's what you call an old school ass whooping right there.
Yeah, I hear that, man. Well, man, I don't know if you should be giving your secrets away like that. I think everybody's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna try that next time.
I mean, I would love everybody to get better. I mean, this is we're all good, but all about helping other people in this league, and I'm all about it.
Well, definitely. So glad you have a good heart, and definitely congratulations on getting 2 in a row. You're probably going to be definitely shooting up the points ranking after your last 2 finishes. Of course, next week, Gateway's on the docket. That's a tough track, and it's in a different car. It seems like you're really good in the truck. How do you feel about the Xfinity car?
Xfinity car, I feel great about the Xfinity car. It brings out the talent in a lot of us, but I haven't raced with them at Gateway. I've had a league win at Gateway, but it was in the Next Gen Cup cars. So I'll have to see. We'll have to practice a little bit this week and see what we got to do to tune up the setup for next week.
For sure, and definitely AI probably going to be able to be a great benefit there for sure. That's a tough track. Has some shifting there as well. So glad to see you. Sounds like you're confident. Can't wait to see what you could do. Congratulations, like I said, on 2 wins in a row. Who can we give a shout out to after this big finish?
I'd like to give a shout out to all my JCR teammates. John Freeman, he ran right second place, and we were battling out there towards the end. He had me on my toes there, I wasn't gonna lie. And Matt Montgomery, he got a top 10, and Glenn Grimm, he was also racing. Appreciate everybody and all the fans as well. And I want to say hi to my dad. Hi, Dad.
100%. Definitely. Hopefully he got that message. But thanks for your time, Jordan. And we've been talking to you a lot regularly here, and hopefully we get the opportunity to talk to you more next week at Gateway, and get some rest. Don't party too hard, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, that was Jordan Durasic, our winner here tonight. And what a great finish for him. I mean, man, to come from the back all the way back up to the front. And glad we were able to talk to him too, Marty. Apparently his mouth is what got him that EOL.
Absolutely. I did not think that was thing, you know, I actually didn't have my radio turned on. I had it muted for the entire night due to other broadcasts. I always forget to unmute it. But I did not see that one coming because of the voice thing. So, but congratulations, Jurassic. And a great job to all the drivers in Stage 3. I believe a caution-free stage.
Yeah,
Correct
I mean,
me if I'm wrong. Yeah,
I
a
think you might be
caution-free
right.
Stage
Yeah.
3.
I mean, we saw a lot of cautions in Stage 1 and 2, but man, Stage 3 was completely different. You're right.
Well done to all the drivers out there. They should be proud of that run.
They really should, and it was definitely a good one for sure. I mean, especially at a track like Kansas. I mean, you see 3 wide, you know, pretty much a regular occurrence at a track like this. But these guys handled it like professionals, and definitely excited to see what Gateway looks like. That is going to be the track that I think separates the men from the boys, that's for sure. We'll see how Jordan Jurassic does. He's definitely got the hot hand here so far, but we definitely appreciate everybody tuning in tonight here with Grid Vision's Thunderclamp iRacing series, of course, sponsored by TLC Incorporated. Big shout out to all the sponsors, the other sponsors, of course, RL Productions, Eagles Woods Creations, SRI. I know we didn't get really a lot of time to talk about them tonight, but definitely want to give our appreciations to them as well. Of course, next week, as I mentioned, we're going to Gateway in the Xfinity car, so make sure you tune in at around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll definitely be ready and raring to go with some action. Definitely me going to be in here. Hopefully, Justin Prince will have his computer back working, but I have definitely thoroughly enjoyed having Marty up here in the booth with me. He's definitely my buddy when it comes to calling these races, so glad that I got my Marty time in for sure. But a big shout out to Austin Derbyshire for all the great camera work that he does down there. You know, always bringing us great action. And a lot of times we see things, or he sees things we don't, and really gives us a lot of the information that we need. Of course, shout out to Justin Levine, a big partner here with Grid Vision, Taylor Burris as well. And of course, my name's Brian Britt. This has been a presentation on Grid Vision of the Thunderclamp iRacing series presented by TLC. We'll see you next week.